But yeah, I mean, all the same basic, all the same.
We're
basic
live
stuff.
now, by the way.
Yes.
It's not made for kids. oh, hey, everybody! Happy hour.
Happy hour is indeed not made for kids.
Welcome in, everyone, to a show where we get together. We talk a little bit of nonsense, probably a little bit more nonsense, probably a little too much nonsense for some people's opinions, and then perhaps eventually get around to talking something TTRPG related. But how you doing?
Yep.
Uh-huh. What's going on with y'all?
Not an answer.
Well, I mean, that's a Rook answer. That's what everybody expects out of Rook.
Mm-hmm.
And if nothing else, Rook gives the people what they want.
Bare minimal expectations.
Indeed. Well, it is been a little bit since we've had one of these happy hours, so welcome in. We want to start off by thanking our sponsor, where you can find things that will exceed your expectations, whether they be books or paints or miniatures or maximatures or whatever else you may need to get your game going. You should go over to PangeaGaming.com because I'm sure they have it and they will ship it to you, whether that's domestically, internationally, or hey, on some other planet on the astral sea. I'm sure they will find a way
they'll ship to another planet.
Get it to you.
Of course.
If you're getting this broadcast on some other channel in the astral sea, hey, please subscribe, share with all of your friends. It's a new market to us. And then, shop at PangeaGaming.com.
Do you remember the old Kmart commercial? I just shipped my pants. Do you remember that commercial?
No, I do not.
Oh my God.
Sounds right up your alley.
You'll have to YouTube that one later. YouTube, I shipped my pants. It's real funny.
We will do that. If I laugh, if I find it funny, I will also add it in our Discord, where you all should
only if it's funny
and check it. Only if it's funny.
Pretty fucking funny.
If it doesn't make me ship my pants, then I probably will not post it.
Oh, jeez.
How I roll. But another throwback, I went to the bank today. And if you remember, probably like about a year ago, I was mentioning on this very channel that bank tellers are lonely. And
I do remember that.
I went to the bank today and walked in through the big glass doors, looked to my right, and there is the teller counter with 4 tellers at stations. And then to my left, and there are 3 people in little office cubicles, and I was the only customer. That's it. Nobody else. They're all just doing it. And they're all like, hey, how you doing? Come over to my cubicle and talk to me. I don't care if you don't need any of the things that I want. If I was there, and I was not, but if I was there to rob that bank, I think they would have been like, hey, come over here put down that heavy gun. Here's a toaster. And let me tell you about the new account that you can. I would leave that bank with like 3 toasters, a blender, and a stuffed animal.
Toasters at the bank. Chuck, how old do you want this audience to believe you are?
Well, I mean,
toasters.
The thing is, they literally had toasters at this bank that you could have gotten if you opened an account there. I was not there opening a new account, did not get a toaster. I do have a stuffed animal from another account that I opened, which was a gift from that one. I have a blender from another account that I opened at this bank at one point in time. So I speak from experience that if I was there to rob that bank, I would have just left with a bunch of stuff and no money.
Appliances.
I would have had new accounts. I would have given them money. Somehow.
I mean, don't you often do that when you go to the bank?
Well, that's the normal transaction.
How banks work.
If I was going there to rob the bank, I wouldn't think that would work that way. Mm-hmm. However, the most interesting part of this whole saga, though, is the reason I had to go to the bank, as usual, to deposit a check. However, this time, now we do banking online, right? It's all
Mhm.
online banking. You need to deposit a check. There's a mobile app. You can go through the procedure, take the picture, both sides, confirm the amount, wait like 7 seconds for it to think in between everything that it's possibly doing, because banks make the slowest apps ever.
They do really make the worst apps.
Right? And then eventually transmit it and then get an email, at least my bank, get an email that says, we've received your deposit. You made a deposit. And then another email for each check, mind you, with a stack of like 15 checks that I was depositing, receive a second email for each one saying, congratulations, we've approved your deposit, because a human has actually
Congratulations,
looked
you
at
got
it,
a check.
and you put in all your numbers right. And normally I'm like, God damn it, get these emails out of here, delete, delete, delete. Luckily, this time I was looking at them, because of the 14 checks that I deposited, one came back rejected instead of approved. We cannot accept. And I'm like, oh shit, did I put in the amount wrong or something? Let me go take a look. And it said, for further clarification, tap here. I tapped there. It said, and I can't make this up, it said, we cannot accept this deposit because this check is drawn out of the United States Treasury. I'm like,
And
I know
the
we
United
don't have,
States
like,
is not
AAA
good for
credit.
it.
I know the government doesn't have AAA credit anymore.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
So I had to go
They couldn't
down.
accept mobile deposit. Is that the actual story? Because it was
Well,
U.S.
I
Treasury.
mean, yeah, I think it's over a certain amount or something like that. It would not accept it. I went in there, and they could do it in person, and approve it in person. But I was talking with one of the people in the offices, in fact, who who literally did wave me over because they were bored. And they're talking, oh yeah, just down here at this check that said you couldn't deposit. Like, oh yeah, I think we changed our policy on that because there were a bunch of fraudulent U.S. government checks that were getting deposited, and we can't place a hold on them or anything. We have to give you the money immediately. And so I think they just make it I think that's the real thing. I mean, to be honest,
That
I
makes
don't know how many
sense.
times I've got a larger check. I go down to deposit it. They're like, okay, we're going to hold your money for 2 weeks, but then we'll give it to you. But in the meantime, we're just going to hold on to it. It's going to clear the other financial institution into our account, but we're just going to hold that money for 2 weeks. They can't do that with the United States Treasury checks. So I think they're like, well, we're going to do something to make it tough on you then, if we can't steal and borrow and gain interest on your money for 2 weeks. Either way, cannot mobile deposit. United States government checks. You know, got to go to the actual bank for that. Ha! Tell you. America.
My biggest takeaway from this is that I wish my bank congratulated me every time I put money in my account.
Especially twice.
Very
right?
encouraging.
Really?
And apologized when it came out.
So
get no apologies.
Sorry, this money's gone.
Along similar lines, my bank is a small local county sized bank in not the largest county in the state of Kentucky for sure.
Is it just your rich uncle Scrooge McRook?
It's definitely not.
Okay.
However, they will not. So my previous bank from Louisville, I had to go in and say, hey, look, can I mobile deposit these checks that are larger? Because, you know, real estate commissions and things are typically above the daily maximum or the size of individual checks that you can scan and deposit. And they actually went in and modified my thing because that was my only form of payment at the time was real estate commissions, right? So they modified my account so that I could deposit larger checks. This bank won't let you deposit anything over $1,000 mobile.
Good God.
Like it's tiny amounts. I'm like, holy crap. Like what is up with that? But they're also 1.5 minutes from my house. So like doesn't really matter.
And they're super lonely and would like to give you a toaster.
Probably so. They have certainly never offered a toaster.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to offer me something, why am I? I want a free thing. Give me a little stuffed lion. Give me a.
If they were giving away little stuffed animals, I'd go down there more often.
I can't even hear
Why
the
not?
word toaster without thinking of Scrooged, which I put into the meme into the
I
happy
love
hour
that movie.
Discord
That
channel.
is
I can't even.
like my favorite Christmas movie. Like
I-
I love it
It's
so
mine as
much.
well. It's so good. It's so good.
I watch it every single year, often multiple times. Like, oh God, I love Scrooge. If you've never seen Scrooged with Bill Murray, like, go see it. Even though it's a Christmas movie and it's not the season for it, just watch it right now. It's so good.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
funny.
I think we closer to the season. Maybe we have a movie review and ranking because I mean, Bad Santa is up there. Is the
Bad
one.
Santa is not a Christmas movie.
How can you say that's not a Christmas
It's
movie?
really not a Christmas movie.
How can you say
It is fantastic, though. I will say that.
That
No, I don't
is
want a fucking sandwich.
sandwiches.
I can see we're gonna have some heated debates as we move into the holiday season.
Please, maybe we'll create a separate channel on the Discord. All of you out there on the astral plane, please weigh in which movies you think should be considered among the top Christmas movies, and we can debate those live on the air for us. And we will even be on YouTube where you can leave comments and tell us that we're wrong and we suck and we're horrible and all of those things. Just leave lots of those comments. We will accept and we will like and we will reply to every one of them. However, it is not Christmas time. It is
not
most definitely not
summer.
Christmas time because it is so hot outside that I'm surprised that the people out there making deliveries and doing stuff, whether you work for Amazon or UPS or FedEx or any one of those places, I'm surprised you all don't like disintegrate the second you get out of your truck halfway up to the driveway. Oh, package almost got there. But it does make me say that today there is a special and the house will offer drinks for free to air conditioning repair people. Without you, we would not be here.
For real, literally saves people's lives, to be honest.
Let me tell you how bad I have it in my new job. It's pretty hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have endless electrolyte frozen like popsicles, the plastic popsicle, what I'm talking about. Endless popsicles. And today they had a shaved ice truck that came out with shaved ice free for everybody, whatever. And we have it so bad at my new job that 2 of us out of the 4 that were in the truck driving over to get our free shaved ice were still eating popsicles in the truck, pulling up to the shaved ice line. That's how rough we have it.
Just constantly consuming ice like all day.
I would think that they would have like a in-house little IV station there with like a physician on tap. Oh yeah, here you go. You have a banana bag
like
with your
those
lunch.
misters that are just like spraying you.
Oh, that would be nice. That would have been nice today.
There are. I mean, they have them set up at cons and stuff like Dragon Con for the last. I don't know. It's funny because we was talking about that with a friend of mine maybe like 10 years ago. That like all these people, they go out drinking all night long. They're all dehydrated and hungover in the morning. Should offer a service where we come to your room, give you an IV when you're ready to pass out. You wake up and you probably still don't feel great, but you probably feel less shitty. And last, I don't know, 4 years maybe now, they've set up, there's a doctor that comes in and sets up this whole area, a station. Need an IV? Come on over. Wow. And they give you different stuff. I don't know. I have not used it myself, but I know a lot of people have, and they said it has gotten them back up and running and on their feet. So, maybe you should suggest this to your employers or something like that. A little 20-minute IV thing in there, get you taken care of, back on your feet, ready to work again.
I'll just keep eating
Wow.
the free popsicles, I think.
Probably less expensive.
I would imagine so, yeah.
So we now know Rook will work for free popsicles.
Hmm.
So while you're working this new job, Rook,
Hmm.
how's the lawn?
Oh.
Well, there's a. It's been real hot, which means the batteries don't last real long.
Mm-mm.
And the saga is real right now. That's all I can say. By the time I have time to get the whole lawn done, it's time to start over again. That's all I can say. It is the never ending lawn challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Still no goats,
No goats.
See, the goats can just graze continuously. That's
right?
the
No
thing, is they
goats.
never stop.
No goats.
Zero
Though
goats.
I
Shame.
do think by next spring we are gonna have a large raised garden area. Like we have
Nice.
so many deer that we're gonna have to like gravel it and do raised beds and put a fence around it and all that stuff. But I do think that'll obviously cut down on the mowing because there'll be a portion of the yard that's taken up with that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even a pool. Who knows?
Nice.
That would be nice. Get rid of that'll cover a few things.
Man. But in all of that, I still have heard zero goats.
No goats.
No goats.
No goats.
Zero goats.
Very disappointing.
No
Very
goat.
Disappointing.
No goat plan. No 5-year goat plan in place.
Well, I mean, while there are no goats in Rook's lawn, maybe, we can add goats to our delivery service. Pull in instead of bicycles, we can have a goat cart.
Oh my
I wonder-
God, that would be amazing. I would be sitting outside waiting for that cart to arrive.
I wonder
Like,
if
the goats are coming.
I wonder if they sell goats at Pangea Gaming.
bet you they
do.
have
I'm
a
sure they'll ship them
miniature.
to you free of charge or something.
I don't know about free of charge.
Chuck, don't you have some baby goats kicking around?
I have a stuffed goat that will be featured at Dragon Con, where I will be in under 30 days to Dragon Con now. So yeah, if you are visiting from the astral plane or wherever you may call home and in Atlanta for Dragon Con, come and find me. I will be doing some Severance inspired stuff. You stop by my I will be hosting a Wednesday night waffle party courtesy of Mammalians Nurturable, which of course has
Not that kind of waffle party, though. Unless it is. I don't know. I don't want to presume.
It will feature animal-shaped waffles made there, so a little less creepy maybe than on Severance, but there will be a waffle party. I will have swag with me. There will be coasters for everybody that wants a coaster. I have no idea if this is in frame or need I put it in front of my face or something like that, so Rook doesn't crop it out when it goes to air. There will be water bottles because while hit points are not required to enjoy yourself at a con, hydration is.
Yes,
So
very
there
much.
will be water bottles. There will be books. I will have books that are from possibly a forbidden or not so forbidden section from Vellum's library available for folks.
You stole from his hoard?
You're gonna get hunted down, my friend.
Yep.
That
little fucker was pretty aggressive.
Very determined.
They are authorized to be dispersed to other worthy individuals. I will have T-shirts if you have thought about signing up to be part of the Bitch Militia. That is a perfect time. We will have things available for you. So yeah, come find me. I will have I'll be in a Lumen outfit, or Ramirez from Highlander, or
I watched Highlander recently.
oh, did you? Okay, I did too when I was getting the costume ready, and I realized, wow, is this a really bad movie?
It's
I
not
mean,
good. It's not good.
I mean, incredibly bad movie.
And also not good.
Oof.
It's yep. It's a movie that exists. Like, because I remember Highlander, the TV show,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when
So
I was
good,
younger.
so
That
good.
was that in my mind. That's what I think of when I think of Highlander is the
Mhm.
TV show. But I was aware of the movie, but hadn't really like sat down and watched it before. And I watched it like not that long ago, and it's like, all right, then I guess that's that.
I mean, that was the initial creation of the mythos and the world and all that.
Yes.
So yeah, it's the
Mhm.
thing that they said, oh, well, we could do this better in kind of a TV show format, which was it was better. The TV series was definitely better. Again, don't know how long it's been since you watched.
I haven't watched that either, and so I don't know. But
how well those things hold up. I mean, the thing that really gets me, uh, the character of Ramirez, the outfit is amazing. The
that is
character,
unquestionable. That character has a spectacular look.
yes,
It's a
the
look.
outfit. The outfit's amazing. Everybody loves that outfit, including myself. I love that outfit. I don't love that Sean Connery was cast to play an ancient
Mhm.
Egyptian.
Yep. Not great. Not great. It's fucking Sean Connery.
Right? I mean,
What
could
are you doing?
could you, I know, hey, look, if I have a chance to get Sean Connery in a movie or on this show, I'm doing it. But if the part was
Tweak
written
the role a little, maybe.
right,
Yeah.
there's no need. There was no need for that to be, because what did that do? Right? The premise of that was, oh, he's ancient Egyptian, and then he went to Japan and learned how to make a katana, and all from this great
He
master, and
could have
all
been
this
from
stuff.
literally anywhere. Like the
Right?
point was kind of that he traveled around. Like he could have been from anywhere. There
Anywhere.
was no reason to do that.
But it sort of leads into the second point, that this whole thing was this I don't even know what her title was, like sword historian consultant for the
Oh,
police.
yeah.
Whatever
like
that job is.
I don't even know.
Got these shards of the sword from the sword fight and did the analysis and was like, there's no way, this is older than it should be. It shouldn't have existed and been at the carbon dating time. This technique wasn't invented. And I'm like, so the movie's about people that live forever. So why do we now also have them traveling back in time?
Yeah, like they still move like forward linearly in time. Like it doesn't. Why would there be an It's yeah.
It's
I just feel like anybody viewing right now needs to just go over to our Discord and go into the happy hour channel. I've got a couple of, I wouldn't say side by sides, they're but they are next to each other, and give me your thoughts.
I have to go see.
Yeah. No. Sorry, that one is a fail, sir.
They're pretty similar.
They're
They're not too far away.
not even close.
Mhm.
Not even close.
Mhm.
But that being said, yeah, the movie does not hold up on a number of levels.
It's pretty rough.
It really is but they're redoing it, so we'll see what happens with the remake. Anyway, I will have that costume, peacock feather cloak, and all on proud display. So if you want your head cut off, please come and find me at Dragon Con. So that is that. My plans. Do y'all have any plans coming up? What y'all doing over the next month or so?
Oh goodness, I don't know. I feel like I had an answer to that question, but also I feel like my brain doesn't work and I'm tired. It's too hot.
It's too hot. It's too hot to think about things.
Yeah.
It is way hot.
I
All right.
wish that I was going to the ocean. That is what I want to do more than anything. Every
Wow.
single day I think about it.
So
Like I
you could
want to
be
go
on
to
the
the
beach in the
ocean.
blazing sun? Yeah, that sounds great.
No, the ocean. It doesn't even have to be the beach. It could be on a boat.
I
Or
want to go
just
on a
like
boat.
swimming in the ocean.
Oh.
I love the ocean. I lived near the ocean for most of my life, and it's only a few hours away now. It's not that far, but it's far enough that I can't just go there easily, and it's very frustrating.
I just talked about being surprised that a delivery person did not disintegrate from the curb to your front door, and you're like, "Oh, just a couple of hours." No,
A couple hours is too much, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying. It's too far away.
no.
But
Stay home, stay in the air conditioning.
it's also cooler by the water. Like the breeze off the ocean is
breeze.
cooler. It's always
Mhm.
cooler, a little bit cooler on the coast. So so if anyone lives near the ocean, be grateful because I envy you. If anyone watching this.
Thought you were like, give me a call.
Anyone
No.
live near the ocean, just
You
give me a
call me up.
shout.
No.
I'll just come randomly stay in your
I'll
house.
show up at your house. Yeah.
I won't ask permission. Just give me a call and an address, and I'll be there.
Just be grateful. Be grateful for what you have. I miss it.
Appreciate your ocean life.
Mhm. Yes.
Oh my, that's our word. Hit points are not required to enjoy the ocean breeze. That is
What a
a
fucking
good
fall.
I do have a question for you all that not prepped or anything. So this is not like a deep analysis question, just off the top of your head. What is a paladin?
Interesting question. What is a paladin? I mean, a paladin, I feel like is in many ways just a fantasy version of a knight, like a magical version of a knight.
Mm-hmm.
Because like a knight generally would have some particular fealty to someone, or like there's a code that like knights are supposed to follow, and certain like rules of behavior and etiquette. And I feel like a lot of that kind of is manifest in a paladin's oath, more so than a fighter who just kind of can do what they want.
Rook?
I mean, the first thing that came to my mind off the top of my head when you asked the question is like holy warrior. Is kind of the first short answer. But I think that what encapsulates a paladin is some set of rules or code that they restrict themselves to following. I think that's a big part of what makes a paladin. A paladin is whether it's an oath or a vow or even just some sort of code of honor or chivalry, or dishonor or whatever, if you're one of those icky paladin types.
I mean, I would say that there's no icky paladin type. If your code or whatever doesn't agree with my code or whatever, doesn't mean you're not following your code. Everyone is the hero in their own eyes, sort of thing. I mean, there's that's look. You don't have to be I'm sure there were plenty of, if you're going to go with the knight analogy, there were plenty of knights who were shitty people and they adapted their code to fit their shitty ideal, what we would consider or what I would consider shitty. I mean, that's just how people are. But I think my main question comes in, and I led into it with what is a paladin, is do we need that as a class? Is that really its own class? Holy warrior, a warrior, otherwise known as fighter, with magical attributes and stuff. A warrior that follows a specific code. I mean, do we need more in general as a broader topic, do we need all of these classes? They just released, and I think it was official third-party content, the gunslinger class as its own class. Previously, there had been a Matthew Mercer thing that was a subclass of fighter as gunslinger, but that's not good enough. We need to make that its own class and give it its own subclasses and things. And do we need all of the extra, or we don't, if we want to say holy fighter with ideals and all of this, we already have a cleric class.
It could easily be a subclass of a cleric or a subclass of a fighter, either way, because it's just kind of somewhere in between. So it could work for either. I don't think it needs to be its own class, and I generally, I think that we don't need so many divisions as there are, and I actually at some point was working on trying to write a game system, not for like publishing it or anything necessarily, but just, I don't know, as an exercise that was sort of like could be played like D&D but had more simplified rules. And I started listing out classes and I just kept condensing them. I'm like, well, these are kind of just the same thing. And like it just kept, there's so many ways like there's just so much overlap in so many of the classes and subclasses.
Do we need and I mean, to me, Paladin, especially because I think there are so many different schools of thought and beliefs on how they should be role played, is what really drives me crazy with a lot of what Paladin is. But Monk, does that need to be its own class, or is that just another specialized kind of fighter warrior? We don't have a specialized individual class for a arcane caster that's a fighter. We have we've got a blade singer. We've got a couple other ways to do that. So why do we need to say specifically the Paladin does? And if we're saying it's more knightly, well, there's already a knight option. Or
like why is Paladin a class, but like Eldritch Knight is a subclass,
right? That's my question. Do we need all of these classes? Does it make the game better, or does it just create more rules that take away from our gameplay and the ability to role play? Rook, you look like you're
I'm thinking back
thoughtful
to
face.
I'm thinking back to previous editions of D&D. And I would say, while Paladin has been hanging around as its own class for a very long time, it was very, very easy to just be some sort of holy warrior or cleric, in the early days of D&D, right? That was able to use weapons and smack foes in a violent manner in the name of your god. Like all of that, like, I think, and maybe it feels like the biggest jump, 5th edition really expanded on creating its own kind of feature list for paladins. It expanded the potential of smite, and it expanded like the oaths and the identity of the paladin in a way that I don't remember 3rd edition ever really doing. Because if I remember correctly, 3rd edition,
which we know you don't.
I don't. I probably don't. It was a lot of bottles of rum ago. If I remember correctly, it was much, much closer to Holy Warrior, Holy Fighter, than having its own identity, really.
I think, too, it's you have to look at how the other classes have changed as well, because cleric
Except for
used to
ranger, because
be
it's never gotten anything ever in the history of
never.
D&D, ever.
Like,
Someday Rangers will drink for free. Not today.
because
Not
cleric, I
this
think,
edition.
was more priest, like, not, I feel like
Mhm.
cleric has become, I mean, first of all, like, the most versatile class. You can play almost anything as a cleric. Like, you can be like practically a wizard and be a cleric, like, you know, fully focused on casting and that sort of thing. Or you can basically be a paladin, like you can fight like a paladin and that sort of thing, but be mechanically a cleric. And I think that maybe I'm not as familiar with older editions. Like I've said before, like I've read the materials, but I have not played older editions. I feel like cleric used to be a little narrower, and so maybe there wasn't as much overlap with paladin as there is now. Now it's like, why would you play a paladin instead of a cleric? When you can do a lot of the same things and have more with a cleric. But it just in general, I feel like the perceptions of the character types have changed. And I think a lot of the reason Paladin has been around for so long is that it's these character archetypes more than it is about the mechanics. The holy warrior and the wizard and you have like these certain kinds of fantasy character archetypes. And I think that's what kind of keeps it around, but mechanically it doesn't make sense to be a distinct class.
I think mechanically speaking, the big things that define Paladin are smite, the ability to just do more damage and have damage from a godly source. And the other big thing is hey, I can have a horsey. You know,
But like that sounds like a subclass to me. Like,
right.
it could just like
Well,
why there could just be, especially even now, like with the newest update, the 2024 or whatever rules,
mhm,
um, and the cleric, like early on, you choose. I forget what they call
mhm,
them. Choose one of two options, and one is more fighting focused, and one is more magic focused.
mhm.
And so that already feels like you're kind of choosing cleric or paladin, like with paths within the cleric.
Right.
So why not just have that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way, especially because I mean, I think we need to tone down rather than amp up, right? I mean, and they did that with the paladin. The 2024 rule set the smite ability has definitely been brought back down to
Mhm.
balance from the extreme nova damage that it did to begin with. And I think we need less of that because the more you do of uber abilities and amazing 10,000 points of damage in a round, the more hit points and the more resistances and the more stuff you need to add on the other side
It
to
all just
make
scales up together, and so
right.
it's like fantasy inflation. It's
And it
just
just and the
yeah.
result of that is longer and longer, more
Mhm.
dice rolls, longer combat stuff, and less storytelling
Mhm.
within those fields. But yeah, the where do we need more? I think and I think what you're agreeing with is we need fewer classes. We can condense stuff a little
Mhm.
bit and you can put whatever flavor you want. You
Yeah.
can do whatever you want. But I think in particular, the paladin class is very confusing when it comes to role playing because that more than anything has strictures on it. You must be lawful. And
Mhm.
we've discussed before the idea of lawful is is pretty broad. You can do a lot with that, but I think the generic definition and thought is, well, I need to reinforce these everything that's good. We can't do anything wrong. No drinking, no smoking, no having fun.
It doesn't
All
say
that.
that shit in any of the
All
tenets. It says it might in some, but
no.
I think the
Again,
tenets
But
are
there are
pretty
a lot
well
of
hey,
defined
people.
with the oaths.
It depends on the player, of course, but
mhm,
certainly there are plenty of people out there who will play it that way. Like, you
right.
see it often, that people will play like, I'm a paladin, therefore I've got to stick up my ass, basically. It's like the way people treat it. And that's not in the text. Yes, that's not like just it's not in the book saying you have to do this. But I think because it is clear, like there's no other class that is explicit about like what your alignment should be, I don't think. Like and Paladin kind of is, and I think people tend to latch onto it maybe too much and not be flexible with characters they play as a paladin, but I don't know.
Again, I still want to get rid of alignment, take alignment out of the game altogether, and then describe and because it's so difficult to describe what a paladin is, and then it makes it more difficult it makes it easier for people to latch on to, oh, I'm lawful good, so I need to not be able to have this in the party or that in the party. We can't do this, we can't do that. I'm going to make it difficult, and it makes for difficult party interactions. And I don't think I'm not advocating to play a paladin that way. They definitely don't need to be that way, but I'm curious, and I would love all of you astral plane denizens to go over to our Discord and tell us what you like about what draws you to playing a paladin. Is it the ability to smite? Is that the big draw, or are there things about being a warrior with a cause? And does it make it easier for you to be, oh, Oath of Vengeance paladin? Here was the thing that I need to avenge. Let's get into this thing. Does it make it easier to write that backstory and navigate that? Or is it because you wanted a horsey? Because I could totally get behind that.
I mean, the horsey is pretty great. I will say I don't think I've ever chosen to play a paladin for non-narrative reasons. I feel like I've only and it's not a class that I choose very often, but I feel like I've only ever chosen it because the character I had in mind was a character that like believed very strongly in a specific thing and had some like really particular focus of like they care about what they want to do. And to me, that kind of says paladin. So those are the only times I would ever choose to play a paladin, I think.
Rook, you've been pensive over there.
Pensive. I was just thinking about, I was reflecting on whether or not Handsome Jack from Borderlands 2 or from Borderlands, the video game series, is a paladin. Because he's certainly obsessed with Butt Stallion, his unicorn mount, and
I would be pretty obsessed if I had a unicorn mount. I'll tell you that.
He's pretty obsessed with old Butt Stallion.
I mean, to be fair, that is a defining characteristic. The faithful steed that you have, whatever brand it may be, whether it's a rodent of unusual size or just your standard flying horse at a certain level. It is nice to have that, but I mean, it's that same bond. Having your familiar as a wizard or a warlock of Pact of the Chain warlock, whether it's a Rainbow Bright type of creature, or
just animal. just got hit full in the face with the idea of playing Rainbow Bright as a paladin. I must create this character.
There you go. Inspiration strikes. But no, you can. I mean, I think there's a lot of possibilities to have animal companions and friends. And I think that's an important part of the game. Now, on that line, I know, Rook, you feel that it's almost cheap or cheating sometimes when you've got these resummonable creatures. Oh yeah, they get hurt and they go down. No big deal. We'll just take a short rest and summon them again. How would you feel if you were playing something like a paladin and you had your faithful steed, but it had hit points and it dies, it dies.
So a horse.
That's it.
So just a regular horse.
With extra abilities and connection to you. You could still, I mean, you still have the ability to share it and all that, but it's not a resummonable, a Beastmaster.
I was going to say, so like a ranger's animal companion, but it's a horse.
Well, except it depends. The Beastmaster Ranger, the animal companions are summons, and they go down to 0 hit points. They poof, and you resummon them.
You're asking my opinion how I feel about all that? Like, yeah. I just, in general, will say that if I have a class with a pet, I will never, ever, ever, ever treat that pet as a renewable resource, ever. No matter how many times it dies and I have to resummon it. And if it dies and I have to resummon it, which doesn't happen very often in games where I'm running something like that, I'm like, there will be a scene at camp where I'm like, I am so sorry, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I can think of times when it was like, leave the pet behind to save the whole party, to die, like leave the pet behind to die to save the whole party, and then later, like, I'm so sorry that I had to do that to you, you know?
As a DM, have you ever, or even at least thought of somebody's treating their animal as disposable? Right? Oh well, you know, it doesn't matter. We can just resummon or whatever. I mean,
people do that all the time.
Yeah, but have you ever thought? No, it doesn't come back. You cast the spell, nothing happens.
Oh, that would be brutal, but awesome.
I mean,
like, you thought you could just throw them at your enemies? Like, no. Oh, you know what would be a great mechanic, actually, is if you had to, like, roll, like, a check or a save or something every time you tried to resummon, and it got increasingly difficult every time. Sort of like the resurrection critical role rules, where it gets harder every time. Something like that. And it's like, you know, say if it's a familiar, how it's like a fey spirit that you're conjuring. It's just like doesn't want to come back based on how you treated it.
Or even like, let's say you're playing in my game and you send your owl out to scout the enemy fortress or whatever, right? Get shot with a crossbow bolt. You resummon it. The crossbow bolt is still in the animal, and the animal is like flailing and in death throes when you resummon it, and you have to pull the crossbow bolt out of it, and blood sprays all over you, like real true.
Because that's trauma. The thing too. Yeah, they just poof because they have so few hit points. It's like if they get injured at all, they just poof, and it's so like clean. Like you don't have to think about it as being injured, which I think is by design. It's supposed to, you know, it is supposed to let you sort of like play with these animal companions without it being super depressing. It's like how in Baldur's Gate, okay, let me just side note, in BG3, so many times we have played and Rook is like, you need to get the owlbear armor at the end. And I'm like, I don't fucking care about the owlbear armor. That owlbear is not going to fight. It's staying in camp and being safe. That is my child, and it is staying in camp. Why would I bring that sweet baby into a fight? That's outrageous.
Let's not talk about the fact that you just want to murder everybody in the Druid Grove.
That's me. I'm a person. The owlbear is different. It's innocent.
No, I'm talking about the fact that you have to save the Druid Grove in order to bring the owlbear to the end with the armor.
Oh yeah, I mean that too, but like. Because I killed the person who makes the armor.
How many playthroughs have we played? And I can count once that Damon made it to the end. You were like, "Oh, this is where Damon shows up at the end."
He's here. I didn't know that could happen. But it doesn't matter to me because I would never send that sweet little animal into a fight. Is the point? Because that's sad. Like I don't want to do that. And so I mean, I think that's why these mechanics exist, to make it less upsetting, so you can play with the animal companion without it being super fucking depressing. But that's a question of what kind of play style you have, what you like to do. Some people want the realism of it. If you're gonna play with this animal companion, you need to take the consequences of that.
And how many times do DMs just not care? Okay, a party gets hit by a fireball, make your saves, and I'm usually like, okay, so even if he makes the save, my familiar's toast, right? That's but they just, oh no, don't worry about it. They don't have to. It's okay. They're fine. They're under your code, or they're here, they're
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and it's like, yeah, no, your animals are just gone. You get hit. You guys get hit by an area of effect thing. If you are any kind of a responsible pet owner in a D&D campaign, Magic, the first sign that there's going to be a fight, send your animals away. Just
Well, you can poof them into your pocket. You don't have to
Yeah.
send them away. Poof them into
Well,
your pocket.
that is one way
Be
to send a
responsible.
familiar away. If you have an actual pet with you, you need to send it away somewhere.
I feel
That's
like I
true.
remember a certain someone criticizing me not too long ago for not summoning my creature often enough in a game. And like, look, that was my friend, and I only bring them if I really need them. So and also I don't very often play characters that have like some kind of animal companion. I don't have like familiars and ranger companions. I don't like to use them very often because I would be 100% constantly thinking about them, and like it would take too much of my focus to like have to manage them.
Sometimes you have to be more worried about your other party members picking them up and throwing them across the battlefield.
It'll happen, No respect.
Percival, wherever he may be.
Percival.
Percival's an HVAC guy, I'm sure.
I am pro companions. I love my little animal companions that come with me, but I'm always worried that they are going to get obliterated, especially at high levels of play, because they don't scale, right? Some things scale with you, and your beasts, I think with the new one, they scale, or your faithful steed gets to be a greater faithful
the Drake
steed.
Which is
Drake Warden,
the companion I was referring to that I did not summon very often.
Mm-hmm.
Was my Drake Wardens. Little Drake companion. They do scale up. They scale. Get it? Dragons scale.
But, yeah. Nice.
But they do scale up pretty well.
Yeah.
I think if it got to the point that my dragon could fly and then could exit if needed, if things got too hot, then I would have had her out a little more often, but she couldn't.
No, I mean, it's fine not to do that, and don't get them hurt. But yeah, it's an interesting thing, and I think a lot of people do like to play animals, and that may be a draw to play a paladin to get that faithful steed, whatever variety it may be. But I am curious as to what...
It's one of the larger features that I find myself using in general with the paladin class. I would also say that in general, the times that I have played paladin type characters, I find myself using my spell slots to cast things like bless and cure wounds more often than using them to smite.
So why not just play a cleric?
Right? I mean, yeah. I'm just,
because horsey.
Yeah.
Because butt stallion.
Yeah, I am curious as to what people think about that. Does monk need to be? Is that just not an unarmed fighter? Can that not just really be
barbarian need to be a class?
Subclass. What is that?
Does
what is
druid need to be a class?
What are we saying about barbarian?
Druid's pretty distinct.
Yeah, druid is less that way.
Is it?
But I mean, I personally
not just be a nature cleric.
I mean, they have really different spell lists. Is the thing.
Yeah, the paladin uses the cleric spell list predominantly. The druid uses its own spell list, more nature focused and more of a primal caster rather than a holy caster, I would say. But
Also, why does the ranger exist? Is a question.
do we need a ranger class?
The ranger exists purely because Tolkien wrote Legolas into Lord of the Rings. That is,
I feel like
1,000% why that class exists.
the scout subclass of rogue, I feel like could be tweaked to be like a ranger.
Yeah.
And that would be better.
But yeah, at any rate, I just thought that was an interesting topic to bring up, and we could
Thanks
kick
for letting
around.
us think about it beforehand, not throwing it on us
I
in the middle of this happy hour.
I always like the honest response off the top of your head, gut reaction responses rather than the research response. But we can have a researched response on the next happy hour.
Yeah, because I'm going to do homework. That's not happening.
Okay. Which way do you want it, motherfucker? Bring it on. Bring it on us in advance so I can have time to prepare. I'm not going to do any homework and prepare.
I think the way he would like it is to complain no matter what we do.
Right.
That would
That's my
be his
job.
preference.
I sit in the top left and complain.
Noted. Well, with that, I think it is time that we let Rook not go and do homework.
I'm going to go make a Rainbow Bright Paladin. I am hyped about it.
And we thank you for hanging out with us for an hour or so. And would like to remind you, whether or not we see you at Dragon Con, hit points are not required to enjoy a tasty beverage and a waffle.
Ooh, waffles. Hash browns. Scattered.
No hash browns. Just waffles.
We're out.